welcome everybody to another episode of the Monkey Business Show. And that was my Jay impression. He's not here, as you can see, but instead we have a way better guest, or a way better panel member. Just kidding, but not really. MoonMeander, welcome. Welcome.
Hello, thank you. Hello, it's good to be back in OG somehow.
That's a good intro. I like it.
Yeah. No, long time no see. I mean, the three of us being on a call many years later. Fun stuff. World is funny. How is everyone? How's life?
Everyone is great on the team. Everyone is always high-spirited. The atmosphere is great. We just got Rasmus on board. We're in talks of signing him and confirming the details.
Is his accent still really Danish? Can you tell?
So Danish, and we always make fun of him, and we make fun of the two Europeans because it's like we call them the two white guys, and we put them in the same hotel room and everything. Now it's great.
All right, just segregated it. Easy.
That's good. I mean, I feel like the accent things, they actually get worse. They don't get better, honestly. I feel like...
Really?
Yeah, I think like I have this theory that when you're really young, they're bad, and then, you know, as you're like in your best, you know, you're going up in life, you're in your fast life, then it goes, you know, you put in the effort, it gets better, and then there's at some point you reach a point where it's like you care less, and then it get worse again. It get worse again, you know. It's like, and maybe he's getting at that point. I don't know. So I'm not surprised that it's still pretty thick.
The Danish one is the worst, though. Everybody agrees. Speaking of teams, though, I gotta say congratulations on making it to the major and second place points. Good shit.
Thank you. Yeah, it took us like a long time to get here. The roster stuck together after getting a pretty disappointing finish at TI, but the big thing was sticking together after failing to qualify for 2 majors last year. It was one in a similar fashion, tiebreakers, and then the other one, we went 5-2. We lost to Quincy EG, and it was best of threes that we went 2-1 against Quincy. So once again, it was like narrowly missing it. At this time, same thing, tiebreakers, and we beat Quincy
in the same
best
scenario.
of 1. It's crazy. It's crazy.
How was it? How was like the tension that day? How was like the tension release after winning? Was it super? I mean, playing for a lot, right?
It was super because we didn't go to a major for a long time, and the first major got cancelled. So even we got second in the first tour. Quincy won the first tour. EG got third.
Yeah.
And second, then the major got cancelled for the regionals. And regionals was nice, but it was kind of like, you know, not really an international LAN, which is what I really want for my team, to have international experience because they're so young. And winning this was like a wave of relief washed over me, and I couldn't really focus for. I don't want to give excuses, but after beating Quincy, I was really relieved.
How was it like? How's the feeling to know that you're gonna get back to like a major and stuff, and knowing that it should be happening this time?
Just feel people were messaging me like a week ago, saying like the major was gonna get canceled, China's stuck, and CIS league is not happening. It's gonna be another regionals. I'm like, where are you guys getting all this information from? And people are like, oh, from like PGL staff. I'm like, but it's ESL running this. How? Why would PGL staff know anything?
Yeah.
And they were like, so a lot of rumors are floating around. And I got kind of terrified, but just it looks like it's gonna go ahead this time, and being able to compete. It's so important for my team because TI was the first international LAN for a lot of my players, and finally now they get experience to buy. But it was a brand new patch. We're just there 2 days and the patch hit, so they really don't really have like any strategies going to it. And this time was like the first like post-patch international LAN my players were ever second one. That's TI. That's a major one.
Bryle and Saberlight,
they would get
right?
experience with TI. Brown and Saberlight, yes.
Yeah.
Timado to a certain extent because he went to TI like really early, like TI 5 or something.
Yeah, well, it was the TI Reso standing in, right? I think it was the same TI.
I think so.
TI 7. TI 7.
Which one was it? Yeah.
Is Rezo standing as TI 7 or 6?
For some reason, I linked both events that it was Timauro's first TI and Rezo standed in. It's just I don't know why I remember it this way, but I think that's correct.
I remember now. It's TI 7 because Rezo stood in because we failed to qualify as digital. Oh, was it digital Thunderbirds or Planet Odd? One of those teams. A lot of team names.
Yeah.
And then so it's been like what 4 years, I guess, because of COVID. Since he attended TI and went to a major land. So like, but now he's a different person, completely different than he was back then. Even different role too. When I first picked him up, he was just like every other carry player I knew. Just wants to maximize GPM, hit creeps, once in a while show up and kill people. You know, the good old, you've been there, you've been part of it.
Of course.
And then you gotta teach him like how to like play fast. And he's like, oh, but I keep dying. I'm like, I know you keep dying, but
I'm gonna go back.
You gotta learn through death.
Fuck that. I'm going back to my stacks.
Yeah. Yes. And then after a year and a half of persevering with me, and he improves immensely, so much. I think he's my most improved player since I played with him.
Oh man, that feeling when you have the core players that don't really read the game or they do think a lot about like stats. We had a few discussions on this throughout OG as well, where, I mean, throughout, I guess, just professional, where it felt like in Dota, it all became about numbers and like net worth, and that these are things that kind of paint the most accurate picture of the game. But people didn't really look at like hero matchups, items, like actually being on heroes, how the fight's going to go. And I do think it corrupted a lot of, especially core players, right? Because all of a sudden it just became about 50 gold or 1,000 gold or 2,000 gold. And then you get to that point, like even when you are ahead and they don't know what to do with it, like this, the best way to kind of fucking win this game or fuck them up, like, because, you know, all they thought about was getting the money. It ends up just being about that, getting the gold. That's painful when you have one of those economical black hole core players, but it's cool to hear. It's cool to hear.
I know exactly what you mean about the math of the Dota. For example, it was you guys versus EG, and you guys had that IO Centaur Spectre lineup with the Aghanim Centaur.
The rough game.
Yeah, even though like you guys were down 20k gold, I always said like I think OG can still win this game because of the damage reduction, the way it worked. Was the Aghanim's Centaur stacked additively with the IO overcharge with the Spectre's third spell. Someone did the math on that, and Spectre did like 94% damage reduction, and then they all in the Spectre, he popped back and wiped them all. I was like, yep.
Yeah.
Got the DDR does right now. BKB's on cooldown. Ana's gonna walk into him here. The Manta dodge.
Buyback's gonna come out from Ceb. They feel like they can maybe try and take this fight, but Somali's in with the combo. The damage is too much. Ana just getting critted down. They've lost Jerax. Ana trying to run himself away, but the burn's too much. Ceb jumps in. The buyback, the hawk from Ana. He comes into play. Can he turn this one around? Ceb falling low, taken down with a homing missile. They'll get Arteezy. Can they get anything more? They're able to find Tiny. They're able to find Fly. The buyback horde from Ana. Absolutely doing it. The buybacks there from OG. No hesitation as now Arteezy, he buys back. There's 4 dead on EG. 3 of them don't have buyback.
Then you guys are abusing that so hard, and that's what I think that's like a great example of the math thing that people don't look at.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like you could also make a case, like a simple case. It's like, let's say they have 10k gold lead and it's on one hero and carry. What if there's an opportunity to blow him up before the fight starts, you know, or like to chain stun him? Then suddenly
you have one Bane or whatever, Razor versus Dusa strats. Like there's so many things where this math just is like it's completely fake news, you know?
Exactly, yeah. But I mean, I think it's like even so there are players that probably allow themselves to be guided by that, and I think even players that kind of know that it's a little bit of like fake information. I mean, as in you have to be smart about how you want to use it and how you want to let it impact you. I think it impacts you anyway. It's hard to push it away completely. Yeah, but it is what it is, and it's cool. At least I feel like the old guard of players, which I guess we all are, or all were, is it can probably be helpful to younger players also that never knew Dota without that.
Yeah. I would give like the young guys out there watching Dota 2 or watching the replays, the young teams out there, advice is that when you guys watch the replay, you guys down 2, 3K, 4K gold, don't lose heart. It's like, it doesn't mean shit, honestly.
It really doesn't, yeah.
Back in Dota 1, it was replays without any of that gold stuff. People would have to do like math on how much people had, I guess, and items and stuff, but they didn't do that. They're just talking about the game like, well, shouldn't this happen or shouldn't this happen in the fight? And I mean, obviously, it's a good tool for casters to get an idea, or for people watching to get an idea that, oh, this game might be looking really rough for one of them, right? 7K at 9 minutes, like, oh boy, this is not, yeah. But really, it doesn't really paint any picture of the game necessarily.
Wouldn't you guys say it would be a cool feature that you can disable it as you watch the replay? Like, actually hide it for pro players, so that when you watch, you try to not get phased by how the game looks, and then maybe it's easier to actually think about how the game really looks, which, because yeah, as you said, you know, sometimes you're behind in XP, gold, whatever, but you're still leading the game easily, and sometimes you're even and you're actually getting completely stumped and there's not much you can do about it. I think it could be cool if you could like just hide it, because if the figure's just there in front of your face, it's kind of hard to ignore it, even though you try not to look at it.
I don't think many people think like this, but maybe they would consider something.
I don't see why they can't put it in. If as long as it's optional,
Should be pretty easy.
Should they make other stuff optional, like sprays, banners, and taunts, hero taunts?
Keep that in, man. Keep that in. You should keep it in. People should always be able to see it.
Yeah,
I mean, it's part of the fun of the game, dude.
Yeah.
I agree. I mean, I 100% agree. I think some things may be a little over the top sometimes, like, what is it, the Mirana ulti with the cosmetic? Like,
yeah, the one where they turn like slightly dark, right? Like,
everybody is like
the black
dark.
now or something.
Yeah, so if you play against Mirana TB, you can't really actually see which one is Conjure Image.
It's actually
and
hard.
the real TB. Yeah, it's so difficult on some things. So difficult. Nake's Rage, if he has like a dark set, it's like, is he Rage? I don't know. Like, I have to click it and now look for the buff icon.
You guys know the Ursa? There's like an Ursa set where it feels
The
like
red one.
he's always
ulted.
Yeah, he's always ulted. It's actually so hard to play. Yeah.
Some of these things I think are just over the top. So if they want to keep all the sets in, I think they should either fix it or make it optional, at least with those, because that's like pay to win. But all the other stuff, I would love for them to keep it in, you know? I don't mind like taunts being longer cooldown now, because some things were pretty insane, like the Spear Breaker taunting, I think, 6 times a minute or 10 times a minute.
The tiny roll also.
Oh my god.
You get bullied by some bus for tiny and it just keeps rolling. It's just pretty annoying.
My favorite one right now is the high five.
Yeah,
whenever you like killing
so
someone
good.
or they can't do it in here, you just high five. It's great.
It's the best. It's the best. Sounds like something you would use. I mean, these features are really fun. I think they add like a new, like, another layer to the game basically, and it's good for I think it's good for viewers, for entertainment, but I think it's also really good for players, and it's really fun. And yeah, it so I was watching Topson's stream this morning, and I realized he has a name for what he calls the anger hit. Do you guys? So the anger hit to him is like, you know, he's playing this 1v1 and then he gets 2 denies that he's probably not supposed to get, and then he starts getting anger hit by the enemy, the other mid laner. And
that's what it's called.
Yeah, does that sound like? Does it ring a bell to you guys? The anger hit. Does it make sense?
Yes, I think I've been guilty of that one a couple times myself.
I think we all do it. We all do it. It's like, yo, he got 2 denies on me. I have to start right-clicking this guy. Like, just we don't even know why we do it, but we just do it.
It's way funnier with like range heroes, right? You have the queens with the storms. They go mid. There's like the 2 last hits. They go for them fair and square, and then they miss them, and you see like the whole switch up in how they use spells and
This is probably a good time to high five the guy. Probably a good time.
A lot of players, I think, got tilted by all this, right? A lot of, like, I know a few names of players that got really affected. I think maybe they, like, I remember Fada. Fada was also very triggered, and then he became the king of chat wheel now, like in Tundra, right? I eat the cheese, the Bane taunt, like non-stop. Oh my god! And then the CQ spray.
The spray, yeah.
I mean, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. I see you've been using the This Is Fine, Johan. I was watching earlier.
Yeah. I mean, my games have been okay, honestly. Like overall, there's less toxicity than I would say last year overall in my games. I don't know if people have just like lost all hope to even click enter, to try to communicate. But a lot of the games I have 0 people muted, and there's like actually not a lot going on. It used to be way worse. Some days it's still bad, but I remember it being way worse in overall pubs in Europe.
How's it for
How's
you?
it in NA?
Yeah, the pubs. I was gonna
Yeah.
ask. Yeah, NA versus Europe
In NA?
pubs. Yeah.
Right now,
I mean, I would say it got better in the last year. I felt it. Less people giving up than usual. Still, this always gonna be those guys. And then the worst part about it is just the communication, and they don't listen to you. I would just be like, "Yo, I'm coming mid. Play safe for 10 seconds. He dies. Okay, I'm gonna take top rune. Just play safe. Okay, off lane. He dies. Then he pings me, and then I'm just like, yeah, I was like, why am I playing support? I selfed you 2 times in lane. It's just, I don't know. Playing 4 and this NA pubs makes me want to play 4 like Yupsor. And just like fuck them all. That's how I gotta put it. That's how I gotta put it.
Yeah.
And it's not fun, but I feel like I've been playing a lot of EU pubs. So I will wake up like in the morning, 7 a.m. from US West, play my pubs, then play on scrims.
How much
And I
rank
will
do you get?
also, well, 150. It's not
Ah.
as bad anymore. They did something with the turn rate, so I could, live with it. It's
Okay.
better for me because I can play my style of 4, which I think is just more comfort without feeling bad about it. I will boost up some like offlane motherfucker or some Russian rank 300 offlaner who's like 10 times better than the offlanes I'm playing with in these games.
That sounds about right. How was the transition for you actually? Like how much do you enjoy playing support and playing for specifically? I mean, obviously, for the people who don't know, you were like a very, accomplished offlane player. So how do you feel about it?
I felt like it was like my true calling according to the way IceFrock was balancing the game. So when I was playing 3, I always played like most of the time I played like the 3s that ran around and kill people. Like, your Earthshakers, and I got like
Moonlight Rider.
Batter. And once
Yeah.
once I got a couple items, I'm like, no more farming, just run at people. Back then, that's how Batter was played, and it's now it's different. And I would play Sanking and all this like initiate Centaur. Once in a blue moon, I'll play Darkseer when Tal asked me to, and then
Darkseer Embers, nice.
yeah, and then so when they made the game, the supports in this current state have a lot more farm than 4s back then. And then they made like all this fun initiator heroes on position 4, this new like Bazoomer heroes, I call it, like Hoodwink. I love it. It's great. It's like I get to play like I get to play like this cool like and like little squirrel that can like stun from 1k range and do so much damage and one shot people. And I enjoy it. I think that support has never been more fun in Dota 2. Maybe a little bit too easy and you get a little bit too fat and all this neutral items and stuff, but I ain't complaining. It's kind of like off lane, but not really.
Yeah, I wish it would. I mean, I've said this now in almost 3 or 4 of the podcasts. I still wish they would change a bit of the pace of the game to what it was. I mean, back in, like, let's say 2016, 17, and almost everything prior to that. You didn't have as much stuff at minute 10. Like, the game is so much faster in that sense. Like, people are able to fight for so much more CS. You do get more XP and gold. Like, supports are always at least 1 level 6 before minute 10, like guaranteed. Back then, it was like struggle. You sometimes had to choose, like, who to give XP, when to give XP. You didn't have, like, I think ever 12-minute BKB rushes because economy also just worked overall differently. Farming speed was something you almost always had to invest in. Very few heroes could afford to go not greedy like in your lineup. And now it is so insane, like how much the 10 minutes dictate. Like you have so little room also for small errors. People do get better, of course, and that's also a natural thing. But I would say the 10-minute mark is, people have too much overall, I would say. Or I think you could see more or different Dota if you slowed things down or changed a few things just for the early game.
I do know why they did it though. It's for the casual gamers of the world, because people, when you wake up, you come in from work and you play this hardcore ass game, getting older, like the Dota girls getting older from 5 years ago. And then you get slammed to this thing, you're playing support, you're level 4 minute 10, and you're getting shit on your 0 and 7 crystal main. You're like, fuck this game. So Icebox got like, okay, here's like a trusty shovel, so you can have 150 HP CM. Stuff like that. You know, here's a tome, so you're level 5, you can get 6, so you don't feel like trash. I know like back then, like things was rough, and you had to work and fight for every inch. But you kind of sound a little bit like my grandpa was like, back in my day, I gotta walk 10 miles to school and stuff. And yeah, you know, it sucked and all, but we're living in 2021, and we gotta also pander a little bit to the casual players, the casual fans who want to enjoy the game and support and stuff. So I can understand why they did it.
You say that, but yet everybody's getting lizard man on the lane. Like, what support can you play against a lizard? Nobody's having fun. Nobody's having fun in 2022, dude.
Same thing. I was gonna say, Moon, next time you get trampled and get solo killed by some stupid primal beast, you deserved it because you said you enjoy where it's going. Then enjoy it. You know?
Okay, I enjoy where it's going with the support balance, but it's like, I mean, it's not like I enjoy where it's going. I'm okay with it. I'll adapt to the support balance, but I'm not okay with Primal Beast. So that's you can't lump up supports 10 minutes and then throw Primal Beast at me like that. Primal Beast you guys just Primal Beast at me. You guys just charge at me and trample all over me together.
Oh man, that hero is something else. That hero is something else, and they've kept it for so long now. Jesus Christ. I see people getting four-shotted, you know, when they skill the passive, and everybody in my team writes like, don't hit Primal Beast, like, don't hit him.
What a great concept. Like, a hero comes to lane and you're not allowed to hit him, you know? What a great concept. It's amazing.
Yeah. I mean, before I guess we move into some real-life stuff, I was very curious what you guys think of the DPC CIS, now that they've... very briefly they announced, and now they even started playing. I need to find the standings, but as far as I understand, there's a chance that Team Spirit, they might have to go Division 2 if they lose to HR. If it's not today, then it's tomorrow.
It's tomorrow.
As we're recording. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm glad you brought this up because I had a talk with 33 on Twitter about this when I saw his tweet. So basically, I've been keeping up with the war a lot. And I'm always on the checking, browsing all those pictures and videos, and I see all those like bodies everywhere and all the time. And I make it a point to see it. My wife's like, "Why do you keep watching these things?" I'm like, "I want to see the truth. I want to see like what's really happening, uncovered, so when I can really process what's really going on that side of the world." And then. So people, whoever complain about the format, I understand it's not ideal. I really do. I would not want to play in that format either, because you know, 2 best of 3 suddenly a Div 2, you can't go to the major. But with the given circumstances, they have no time to do any other format. The only other format I can think of is a round robin. That's fair, but round robins take forever. So it has to be round robin best of 1. And I rather take best of 3s over round robin best of 1s any day to go relegated to Div 2. Because let's say you lose like 4 best of 1, suddenly boom, you Div 2. That kind of sucks because you don't really know whether you're playing against a better team. Then every other like team in CIS is gonna look to cheese you as Team Spirit. So the only way to do it is best of 3s, and then you gotta do it through seeding. So I didn't really feel like there's any other way to go about it within the 1 week time span that they had. So I felt like people complain about the format, just think of the circumstances of why it's being delayed so much and stuff.
That's a good point. It's a very valid point for sure. For sure. It's like you just gotta make the most out of the situation. And in a way, the fact that they're able to play it out is already big in itself.
Exactly, yeah. Like someone's going to go to the major because of that.
Hopefully everything works out. I think it's good that something came instead of nothing. I'm completely with that. I do still want to not like lose the sight of overall system, perhaps, that you know that this can even happen to. I don't know. It just feels really wrong to me that in every other, I still like the idea of defending your championship, and that in every other sport, in every other thing, that you're at least always going to see like the champion return. You know, that's something that you win with the first place in something. I'm not saying maybe in esports or in Dota it was flawed at some point where you win one thing and you're automatically invited like to 5-6 things, like just like that. But winning one tournament or a major, I think should guarantee that slot also for the next one. And just seeing, I mean, now we're seeing that Team Spirit is in this situation. I think there's something wrong. Something is
Yeah.
wrong, in my opinion.
I mean, it just hurts to show like the eventuality of them not being there. It really sucks, I think.
I mean, not being there, they have to go through opens at least. And then, sure, you always have to have arguments that, yeah, you have to play and there's no freebies and blah, blah, blah. But for me, it's not a freebie when somebody wins. I think it's part of the price that you win is you get to play again next time for this, you know?
Yeah,
And-
I would agree. I would agree in some sports, like for basketball, no way because only 2 teams in the finals, and I would say at least they should be able to guarantee like into the TI because there's like 18 slots, so why not?
Yeah,
Just
that too.
put them in. Yeah, it's like maybe even like give them the first major at minimum if they don't want to give the TI slot to them, the TI winning team. The next major they just can just get invited.
Yeah, or
You know,
something.
little-
I don't know. It just feels really wrong to me that it's so you don't get anything, like nothing.
Anyway, Team Spirit, no shame in losing. Anyway, they lost to the Hawk God.
Yeah,
course.
everybody.
I watch his stream
Good.
all the time. It's so funny watching him win.
Yeah,
I played
yeah.
against him in pubs. He's just randoms and beats me, and I'm like, what the hell, is this guy?
Yeah, this
How
guy's
does he
good.
deserve to win this game? He's good. He's good.
He also has like that funny Sen mentality, like in some of the pubs where everything goes to shit and he just keeps on like trucking, you know? He just keeps on trucking.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
enjoy.
Yeah, for those who don't know, like he's one of the few players that actually first pick his heroes in pubs all the time, and it's so random. Like one game it's gonna be a Naga, the other game it's gonna be some Axe safe lane, then I don't know, like whatever. He just first. I mean, he does play the same role, you know, almost all the time. He's a carry player, but you know, you gotta give respect to somebody who's just willing to first pick his hero and be like, I'll win this game regardless of what you guys are gonna try to do to stop me.
So he can first pick his Furion carry, play against like 4 counters, and still demolish the whole game.
Yeah, that's
Yes,
inspiring.
God.
That's inspiring.
Yeah.
Yeah. And but you know, this is how you get to demolish Team Spirit. You know, that's what happens when you're willing to, you know, pay the price, which is, of course, you know, there's gonna be some pain. You're gonna play versus counters. You're gonna have some rough games, but eventually you'll learn how to make your way out of any situation, any given situation, which is a very useful, you know, skill when you want to break into the competitive scene.
Especially, and you're not, I think you're saying this because you're an offlaner, but just having someone in your team that, you know, who's like, yo, Moon, you can just pick me this hero no matter what. I don't care. Just give it to me. And you just click that when you're not scared of getting counterpicked, and you can build a draft around that. It just feels good when someone's willing to step up. If all 3 of your cores are like, no, pick my hero late, pick my hero late. You're like,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, man. I gotta open like some like puppy dual support opener, and I'm like, oh, kind of underwhelming, you know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
You're just limiting yourself really hard, right? If that's how you want to draft in general, you don't threaten some things. Like the more you threaten, the better, right? So all supports, all cores, everything that you can pick should be pickable. Like, yeah, should be a threat. That thing is the worst, man. When people are not
yeah.
manning up in drafts, and yeah, oof. So how are you liking it? Like captaining and like leading?
I have a lot of things I want to say and get off my chest, but I'll just put it this way. I really feel like I underappreciated and undervalued and did not see what my captains were doing back then. Now I see it. As a captain myself, I'm like, oh my god, I'm so sorry to all my previous captains, and I'm like to my current self, I'm just like, keep at it. You know, you gotta not falter, because the moment you falter and the moment you do, you're the only person in the team not allowed to fuck up, like at all, and stuff. If you fuck up in the draft, that's fine, but like fuck up like mentally, because everyone's depending on you, everyone's looking up to you, and you cannot ever show any sign of weakness. You gotta always keep moving forward, being able to understand why you lost, when you lost, how you lost, and be able to explain it to your teammates every time you lose. And you gotta bring all of them up, and you gotta manage all your teammates like mental health, and also like make sure they playing the correct heroes that you want, that is in sync with the rest of your teammates and stuff. And like it's just not easy. It's just not easy. But I kind of enjoy it, because in the sense that like I've never had something more fulfilling in my life to do this than do this. I feel like whenever like we won the regionals, I felt like wow, okay, so this is what it feels like to have your hard work rewarded and stuff. To qualify in a TI, you know, like damn, it's like as qualifying a TI as captain, I'm like, oh my god, you know, like Jesus Christ, I finally did it, and like I could finally like breathe for like 10 seconds again before like, okay, now what do I do? I made it to TI. Now what's next? And yeah, I feel like the grind never like really never stops when you're a captain.
I think
Even now you gotta like watch replays and stuff.
one of the things I could add to what you said, what you get in return also, of course the very heavy price that you have to pay of being a captain, is some sort of direct control over some of the things. Because for the players that have more of a easier time in the sense that they're a little bit more laid back and, you know, then I've always told myself like, okay, these guys actually have no control over what's happening and they're kind of okay with it. But when you're a captain, at least, yeah, you get that. It's a it's a heavy price to pay for it, but you know, at least you know you can wake up and you can be like, I'm gonna be in control of this day, as in you know, it's gonna I'm gonna need to bring a lot of energy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna need to bring a lot of whatever, but it will have an impact.
Yeah, you're the captain of your ship, and like for example in draft, where like let's say they want to play like Ember Spirit, but I feel like I kind of need a secondary carry like Lina Templar mid, and then they're like, I want to play Ember, and I'm like, you know what? Can I pick you Lina Templar because I need to learn to be wrong or whatever, and I'm the captain. I'm not gonna give you Ember, and then afterwards be like, oh shit, no, I should have picked Lina. We lost this game, and then like I will blame you. No, it's my fault. If I give you Ember, I made the final decision. So I will click like Lina, Templar, Ember. Some cases I will click the Ember. Some cases I'll click the Lina, Templar, and then they would like I would explain to my teammates why and how and like the responsibilities of the captain, and they will accept it better that way if they had to play Lina, Templar. Because before, if you don't I didn't explain it to them, I'll click it for them, and they're like, I don't want to play this hero. Then we lost, and I'm like, oh my god, you didn't even try to play this hero. And I had to go through all that stuff, and I understand like now like it's a lot to do with like human psychology and stuff. It's very deep.
Yeah,
it's very deep. Sounds like you did some cool self-reflection, dude. Sounds really awesome. And yeah, I do think the most successful captains teams in successful teams end up paying like maybe a heavier price on some things just because you like you say, you have that much responsibility. Everybody kind of waits for you, and when you rest, it's usually really bad for the team, you know. But if other people, they kind of have that leniency or whatever, whereas you don't. So yeah, I mean, what can I say? Feel for you, happy for you. It sounds really cool, man. It sounds really awesome. At least what you said sounds really profound, you know.
It just makes it more 10 times better when you captaining guys you like, and you like they're great guys that listen, and they're humble, and they're just down to earth guys. So it's like very easy, and it's not. That's my hardest part was when feeling this team. It's hard to find like just good, talented guys that don't have their head up their ass. To put it in another better way.
yeah. And what's cool about your team is that you guys also went through lows, right? Like as in, you know, this is there and it's like it's rock solid, because obviously you could have that feeling in teams where, you know, honeymoon or, you know, having a good time, and then when these lands come, or, you know, obviously, you know, what happened at last TI for you guys, it must have been, you know, tough to swallow. But then if the team and, you know, the spirit that you're describing, it lives through that, this is when you got yourself like a team that, you know, it has what it needs in terms of like mental resources to do the run. And then it's going to be about the Dota, which is what any Dota player kind of dreams of, is like, let it be only about the Dota.
Actually, the TI loss wasn't that devastating. It was like a couple hours of my teammates being sad. I wasn't even sad at all because I gave my 100%, 110% the entire boot camp. I barely slept and I just did everything. And so when I lost, I was like, did my best. I can't get mad at myself.
Yeah.
But some of my teammates were beating themselves up, and I had to explain to them like, okay, you can beat yourself up all you want, but it's not gonna make you feel better. And this is why we lost. This is why we lost. And I hope you can either take this as a lesson or keep crying about it. And then like before the night ended, we were already like getting drinks and laughing and talking about like what we're gonna do for the next year already. So it was like very short emo phase.
That's very good. That's a good sign. I mean, you were saying before, sometimes people have their head up their own ass. I think ego probably kills most Dota teams, or leads to also most changes.
Yeah.
I don't know where it comes from. Like, probably is related to talent, right? Like, people who are talented quite often also grew an ego with it. But it also gets to that point where you don't actually listen to your teammates fully, and you stop learning kind of as much as you could be learning. And
I think I don't think it's a talent thing. I think it's just a human thing. And then your
that
part,
too, of course.
I learned that as your brain is like separated to the emotional part and logical part. For example, let me say like, Johan, I think you should have built BKB on Luna this game instead of Dragonlance Manta, and your emotional part is gonna be like, no, you don't know what you're talking about. Like, trust me, you don't play carry. Your logical part is gonna be like, oh, I maybe could have did some of my Dragonlance about BKB. Would I have done anything better this game? Yeah, I could have fought them at this time. Oh no, you know what? Manta is probably better. Then if you explain to me like why you buying BKB would still be bad in a logical sense, that's where like the conversation is going. But the most players would just be like, nah, shut the fuck up. You don't know what you're talking about. And then that's the ego part that you're talking about that I hate so much.
It's like a
you
beast.
don't get the conversation rolling. You don't get the ball like going. You don't like teach me. I don't know everything. I need to know why. I need to like ask questions.
I feel like it's like a wild animal or like some type of beast you have to tame all the time.
Yeah.
Don't let it grow. Don't let it come up, you know, and do everything to keep it down. Like I remember in our team, like analyzing replays right after a game tends to be like a knee-jerk reaction too. People have after losing pubs, or people have after anything like negative happens. It's like, why did this happen? What went wrong? And they look for everything right away. And it's like this. It starts that whole like, yeah, people are thinking emotionally. They're being so attached to the game, and they're not being rational anymore. They're just like, yeah, frustrated.
Yeah, we have a rule to not do watch games right after. We like take a little chill pill and then like come back in like 10-15 minutes when emotions are down, and then we watch it again.
I think it's smart.
That's wise. That's very
big
wise.
advocate. Yeah. Competition, Dota. I wonder if it's as bad in every competitive game. It probably is. But Dota I really feel like Dota brings out so much of that shit in me too at times, and I guess past times.
I see my league team, man. It's similar there. It's pretty stressful there. It's pretty crazy.
Hello, I would like to ask a question. Is there a team that you're particularly looking at for the major?
Holy OG. We are down my head, OG. Don't ever that. This it's just just one guy in the team. You know who it is. This one guy in that team. He's fucking good. You know who it is. I don't
Just one guy. I actually don't know who it is. Is it BZM? Is it MR? Is it Misha? Is it Tommy? Is it Yuragi? Who's it?
It's fucking Anmar, dude. This guy is so good. After we played them, I was like watching him, and I was like, what's this guy doing? Why is he so fat every game? So I watched the replay one time in speedball, and I'm just like watching him like 100 APM playing his game. I'm like, wow, he's so like patient and so normal. His screen looks so slow. His mouse clicks are so chill. It looks like just a chill dude just farming. I'm like, he's just farming. Oh, he's just dodging the gank. Oh, he's back to farming. Oh, he's just dodging the gank. Oh, he's like perfectly TPing to punish over extension. I'm just like, wow, he looks like a 30-year-old dude playing like a 30-year-old dude, but he's playing like on the line perfectly on a 15-year-old dude.
Yeah, what's your problem with 30-year-old dudes?
I mean, this guy is half my age and is like triple my patience. And I'm like, okay, I gotta like reset myself. I'm like double his age. I gotta like have as much patience as him at least. You know, he's teaching me a lesson. He's 16 years old. So I was like, this guy's so good. To me, at least.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm spreading fake news. I'm pretty sure it's true. But did you know he was like 3K MMR at 2018 TI8, like around TI8 times? He's like really green also in Dota. He's like really like yeah. So it's all like new age, new blood, like new ideas, I guess. Like again, when I see it, I don't think I've seen anyone play like that before, and with that mentality. So Just goes to show, you know, there's many ways, many variations.
And the second team is LGD, of course, for sure.
Yeah. I was
Like,
gonna ask
Cellweight and
if they can make it.
yeah.
They look insane. Have you seen their games?
Yeah. I feel like they're just memeing against Esther, like picking random shit, you know. They didn't even bust out their best strategies and stuff. They're like, we can beat them with this fucking Warlock. I'm like, what
We won with Warlock, dude. They won with Warlock. That's the only thing we were talking about too. Is like they won with Warlock. Well, what's about Warlock?
That Warlock time lane was
nice
nasty, man. Like I was watching the lane. I was watching the like Cha-Cha S playing against this, and it's like, what can you do, man? You're just pressing foul bounce every wave, and the other dude is just hitting down the creeps with tree grab, and everything dies. And if you try to stop it, you lose 300 HP. It's like
what was the thing about the death loss because somebody had a stand-in in China and they couldn't play for the tiebreaker?
Yeah,
did you hear about that?
something.
Okay, I know about that. So basically, the guy got kicked, right?
Mm-hmm. And they found a stand-in.
They found a stand-in. I mean, the replacement was a stand-in, and then maximum you could stand in was like 3-4 times, I think, like that. So they played. They were like, okay, we calculated. We only have 3 matches left. Let's kick this guy and get this guy standing for 3 matches. So they stand for 3 matches, but then there's a freaking tiebreaker, dude. They didn't account for the tiebreaker.
No way.
So when the tiebreaker came in, they ran out of stand-in rules because the maximum stand-in amount was reached. They're like, begged the guy to come back and play. The guy was like, no fucking way, you kicked me. I ain't playing, you guys.
That's what I was
no way.
Please come back and play. Let's win, bro. You get to go to the major. We keep you.
It for me. And
That's
they were
funny.
like, no way.
So he said
this.
no way. He didn't play.
He didn't play, and they couldn't go major.
Wow.
Like for the tiebreaker, Ceb, you understand? They had to play tiebreaker for the slot. Oh
honestly,
my god.
Like, I don't know how I would react in such a situation, but I understand.
It's rough because if I was the guy, like let's say I want to build a new team, and his VG Gaming is not some like shit org, you'd be like, I can do this org a favor and put myself like to other orgs who want to pick me up. You're like, yeah, you know what, this guy's a good guy, and in times of their best, even though he got kicked, he's willing to do it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if you do it, you're gonna like, man, this guy's a cuck. He got kicked and he still like helped them, you know, and like does he not have like an ego? Like I know, like you know, you don't have like a like you do not have any like ego or something. I like you know we're talking about ego, but this is kind of good ego.
But do you guys watch Formula 1? I mean, maybe I shouldn't spoil it for people. Maybe some people are gonna watch the podcast also watch Formula 1. But there is like an example of exactly such a behavior, and one of the big names of Formula 1 is put in such a position, and yeah, I think the message that it would send, you know, the message of like, you know, obviously, you know, I'm in a shitty position, but I'm still like a professional, and I still you know, behave as such and don't let kind of my negative emotions or my grief like lead what I'm gonna do. I think it's still better for the guy to play. That's my take. I understand that it's hard and stuff, and probably I don't even know if I was put in such a position if I would find the strength within me to do it. But I think even for his future endeavors, it's better for him to play.
What if you're just the biggest trolly asshole? You accept? You're like, of course I will play.
0-5-0.
With a smile on your face. Of course I'll play for you guys.
Give me Warlock.
Yeah.
If the guy has a big smile, you don't let him play. There's no way he has a big smile. You decide against it.
You just take the mid guy's hero. You just take the mid guy's hero and walk mid. What you gonna do?
Rage picked the hero. Oh, that's bad.
Maybe for the last bit of the podcast, we should probably try and talk about some non-video games, non-Dota stuff. Where I think everybody wants to know what's behind the what's behind people's nickname and online persona. I don't know if you know, Moon. I'm a newfound gardening enthusiast, and I
heard about it.
Yeah, tomatoes, potatoes, everything is fun. I'm still a big noob, but I'm getting somewhere. And Ceb has been, I don't know if he did any of the handiwork, but he's been making up a place, or like making what's it called, nesting.
I actually have done a lot of the handiwork. Like I started from 0 too, but I'm getting better at this. You know, like I'm getting better at this.
So what about you, David? What are you up to?
Me? Only Dota. My hobby, I guess, is I go to like little festivals here and there. I just came back from Coachella.
Oh, you went. Oh, you went. I wish I could have gone.
It was crazy. Yeah, it was crazy. Yeah.
What's
But
Coachella? I've heard the name, but I actually don't know what's behind.
it's like North American Tomorrowland.
Oh wow, okay. Oh,
Are you going to Tomorrowland?
Me? No, I'm not. No, I'm not going tomorrow. No, yeah, nah. Just Coachella, maybe EDC in Vegas if things pan out. Other than that,
When is
what I
that?
do.
When is the EDC? Do you know the dates?
I think it's like July or something. Usually summer.
I'm probably too late to get tickets then. Oh well.
Yeah, you can always get it. It's always like on sale and
Always
stuff.
some scalpers, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, you just wait list, and I got my Coachella tickets like a week before Coachella, and that's
I'm still
Coachella.
trying to get my festival tickets too for one in Portugal, but it's really hard. Some of them, man. I've joined like 300 raffles. I'm losing it.
And my cat, I guess. I just take care of my cat. Have fun with him. Other than that, it's just chilling. And my side hobbies would just be playing video games when I like other games besides Dota whenever I have free time. Right now, I'm finally got time, so I'm trying to finish like GTA 5 and finish God of War 3. Like it's been like forever, low back in the missions and stuff. That's what I do on the side.
So if they God of War, have you played the Souls games?
No, I haven't played the Souls games.
Yeah, I got a lot of those stored away as well. I mean, different video games for other times. But yeah.
Then you're like, oh, I want to buy this PlayStation 4 or 5 or a game, but I'm like, I'm not ever gonna have time to play this, kind of type deal. Yeah.
What about when you were together with a team? Do you do any off-day activities? Like, do you force yourself to?
Yes, I force the whole team. Actually,
Good,
I don't have to force myself. I love doing it. I force my whole team to come out. So like every boot camp, Sundays are off no matter what, and I said you can do anything. You don't have to play Dota. You can watch anime, anything. You want to play Dota, pubs go ahead, but we're not scrimming. No matter what people say. And then once every boot camp, there'll be one day in the middle of the boot camp where I will bring people out. For example, the last boot camp, the one for this one, for the tour 2, we went to the Venice Beach and to the port as well, and it was so nice. And we went there, went on the swings and walked by the beach, ate a nice lunch, and yeah, that's what I brought them out for. And then at the end of each tour, I usually try to bring them out. For this tour too, we were supposed to go to Disneyland, but we got tiebreakers, so we couldn't go, and people had to fly back the next day.
That sucks.
Yeah, but the one before that, we went to Universal Studios. I paid, and then we paid for it. I paid for it, and for the Dubai land, I paid for it as a team. We went to the Dubai water park. That's the one we went to as a team.
Oh, you went to the water park as well. Yeah, dude, that thing is insane.
It's good.
Insane.
The water park's crazy. It's so fun. It's like the best thing in Dubai of everything I did.
It's crazy, Ceb. They have the supposedly the world's longest group ride in terms of like distance you'll ride on one of these tubes or whatever. And with the weather and with everything, that place was insane. That was the most insane water park I've been to.
That sounds like a nice place to go, honestly. And everything is so like immense over there. Like they do things like big. Everything they do is they go big, and yeah.
They go too big, dude. That's crazy.
Oh man, it sounds like a place I would want to visit actually.
So yeah, I think it's important to bring your teammates out, and I think that's where the real bonding is outside of Dota, and also keep the mind off in Dota, so they don't just like burn out without them even knowing it, because maybe some of them don't know what burnout is, or whatever it means, and stuff.
I mean, it sounds like you have a really healthy look, like way of looking at a lot of the team things, which is not surprising that you guys have been doing so well lately. I think there's no secret, there are no secrets and no coincidences. Like, so it's really cool to hear, honestly. Like, I'm happy you guys are finding like what works for you guys and what works for a lot of teams, honestly. Like, I think a lot of teams should consider doing these things. And of course, it's going to be different for every group, right? Like the needs and how to meet these needs. But at the end of the day, some of the basic things, they have to be there. And I think all teams and all groups that need that to function well.
Yeah. I think a lot of teams, they walk into cabin fever without knowing it as well. Like when you do those boot camps that are more than a week and you don't take a Sunday off, or you don't take like a day off somewhere in the middle, or like a couple days probably if it's longer. at least for me, and I think other people share the experience, it gets really hard to keep track of days because you don't have like milestones. Every fucking day looks like breakfast, Dota, sleep, breakfast, Dota, sleep. And you're like, you remember that game we played? When was it? Oh, I don't have no idea. It could be 3 days, could be 8 days. You know, it's like, it all meshes into one. And then cabin fever can happen as well, where people kind of get like way more angsty or way more frustrated. And yeah, I don't think they get to release some things. And I think it's really good to take a break as well. I think it's so important. Speaking of Dubai Water Park, though, did everybody go on the tube, like the hard drop one? Did you try those?
So the hard drop one where the trap doors open, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So
And
only me and Saber could do it because Brow, Tomato, and the manager, they were too not heavy enough. You need to be at least 55 kg. They made you go on the scale. So Dubu was like just borderline, and if he wore like the thing, he's kind of turned green, but the guy was like, no. You know, Dubu was so like sad and stuff. But yeah, so it's like my tummy came in use this time.
Did you? But you went. You said.
I went. I was heavy enough. Yes, me and Saber went. Yeah, everyone else.
Brow
went too. Brow went too because he was like a little bit of a tummy, a little bit chicken tendies lover.
Okay.
So the chicken tendies guys, the unhealthy guys, and the tall Czech Republic guy could go.
They had some good fried chicken in the park. You could have just gone to eat and then gone back. Like, eat like a couple kilos.
Like stuffed ourselves.
The guy comes back. Oh, dude, 2 hours later he's back and he's fine. Like, what the hell did you do, man?
We had one of those small pools closed down as well because a baby puked in it, and then, but it was massive. Like you couldn't see anything, but still, out of I guess precautions. Sad times, baby vomit. Let's talk about maybe some old. I don't know. Let's talk about some old event. Was there an old event that was like super memorable? Is there anything for you, Moon, other than of course Manila and shit?
The biggest one was ESL one in Cologne, Germany. The one where Miracle swapped roles to play like position 4 or something, and it was like the most fake position 4 I've seen in my life.
The lion like force you.
Yeah, taking every last hit and shit. That was pretty. That was a fun way to go. And then he played. I think Crit played Ricky or something.
Yeah,
I was playing Darks. I think no, I was playing Dragon Knight. I was playing Darks.
I was fucking trying.
Yeah, we were trying our best with. They're like memeing and we still won. I thought that was like one of my most memorable like wins.
It was against Navi, right? I think. Or maybe
not.
I
think you're right. No, I think you're right. Wasn't one of the games against Navi in that tournament also that we had Jugger mid on Miracle and they kept trying to gank him. They had the gank mid strat only.
Yeah. So we played Jug mid, dude.
They only gank mid every game, so we put Jug mid, and they kept trying to gank him with like stunning heroes. They just spin, walk back, and go again.
At some point, like Amir was getting so emo, but getting ganked mid every game. So I had my TP already on my Barider. So like minute 4, like I'll be level 4 Barider, level 5 Barider, and they would gank him, and I'll TP immediately, and I get a double kill. So like, this level 3 is supposed to come to like level 5 Barider. Like what the fuck is this? And then you can't die a Barider TP, you know. But they do it anyway because it's psycho, and then we win games like that. And I feel like. Yeah, sometimes like like off laner is not supposed to TP mid, but like so early. But sometimes I feel like you shouldn't put hard rules in Dota. It's always so crazy how Dota works. It's like no hard rules. For example, like we were talking about like off laner should never. My teammates would be like off laner should never TP to the safe lane under any circumstances. It's so bad if you TP so early game. Then I watched the LGD game where game 3 I felt like if this Brewmaster didn't constantly camp this Faith Beyond Necrophos, they will lose that game because Necrophos is like off laning as a tiny carry. Winter Wyvern, it's like the freest lane ever. But so if the Necrophos didn't start the game 0 and 5, Faith Beyond will 1v5 the game. But because of all the early rotations and everything, he couldn't. And then they snowballed from that. The game suddenly the score is 3-20, and suddenly you just lose no matter what heroes you have.
Yeah, I think like as a rule of thumb, like it's good to have like muscle memory and to have like patterns and stuff. But every Dota game is different. And at the end of the day, what should dictate whether or not somebody should rotate or something, it has nothing to do with kind of hidden rules. It's just it has only something to do with how the game looks like. And yeah, I like the approach of like looking at a game and kind of freeing yourself from how it should be usually. Yeah, I mean, you know, sometimes you get surprised by a team. You know, the classic we're trading towers on side lanes. Sometimes the team just actually fights, and people are not ready, and you get team wiped, and the whole game looks so bad. And you know, you could be like, what are they doing? But at the end of the day, they're doing something right. And yeah, it's cool to just have like an open mind when you look at the game.
That's a super PTSD trigger for me, that
Yeah.
one. It's like, guys, there's no way they'll fight. Oh yeah, there's no way they'll fight.
I've heard Johan
okay,
so many times say, guys, sure, maybe there's no way, but let's just be ready, just in case, you know.
Just be ready, you know. And then they fight, and we don't talk about it. We don't talk about it after the fight. We don't talk about it after the game. They take care of the fight, but like we just let that one slide.
We
like.
lost so many scrims in OG with Johan literally like saying what is about to happen, and then it just happened. So I know why he's getting PTSD.
And I've been missing this, you know. So when Misha joined Moon, he came up actually with a lot of nice words for us that like just explains many things. But he had this one word that he started using. It's like, so like we were watching replay. So he goes, so right now we're autopilot. Yeah, we're not playing.
Yeah,
we're autopilot. That's such a fitting fucking word for Dota players. Like you kill Roche, you get a tower, and it's like autopilot on. Like everybody stops talking, everybody stops playing. They're like, BKB, nah, no B. Everybody's like in their own fucking world. You know, you stop playing completely. And it's like full autopilot. Yeah. It's like one of those Dota phenomenons.
I know what you mean, dude. I've been there. I will be, but the way I've got to circumvent this is I have to be on top of everything, and I need to like yell out, but like, get ready, there's gonna be team fight middle, and nobody would. If I say it like in a regular voice during a scrim, I would be like, putting this ward down, there's gonna be a fight middle, guys, and then people would be like, fight middle, what's going on, huh? Oh shit, fight middle. But if I yell it in official, I would yell it like, there's gonna be a fight middle, get ready, guys, and everyone's like battle stance. They're ready to fight and stuff. But yeah, sometimes you just see it and then you don't know, it's just instinct. You just like split second, it comes to the last second. You can't even plan for this kind of stuff. You just feel the fights coming.
Dota is such a cool, intuitive game as well. I wonder if Dota will ever stop having, like, if they keep the game alive and they keep doing this, if it'll always be in my life. I can't imagine life without it. Anyways, gonna wrap this up. So that was another episode. And a good one, I would say. Always learning, always getting smarter.
Look at the
always reminiscing.
Host throwing flowers at himself. Oh, that was a great episode, and
that was a great episode.
Great hosting. Like I did great.
No, it's all the guests. The guests he carried.
Wait, am I not a guest anymore?
No.
Okay, I see. I'm just like a furniture. Okay, cool.
You're furniture. You're a perm now.
Okay, good to know. Good to know.
Well, Moon, David, thank you so much for coming on, and yeah, I hope to see you again. I also hope to see you at the major. I hope the major will happen. I hope everything will go as planned.
It's my pleasure being here. I hope to see you guys there too. Maybe Ceb, you can just book 2-hour tickets and only just there.
I'll be there.
You come cast too. Yeah, we can just see each other again. Maybe have a beer at the after party or something.
That'd be awesome, man. Yeah.
So how many people have begged you to come now? I'm pretty sure like half the world is asking you to come to the major.
I would come anyway. Like I'm very excited to be in a LAN environment and like meeting people again, like physically. Like that's why we play Dota for. So
awesome. Well, thank you all. Have a wonderful time. Like and subscribe.